Hello everyone, my name is Thiều. I will answer to my question. Here there are four questions divided into two parts. Part 1 will have three sentences and part 2 will have one sentence. Let's start it. 1. Do you believe money can buy happiness for people? Why or why not? I don't completely agree with the opinion. Money can buy happiness. Money is unlikely to buy happiness, but it may help you achieve happiness to an extent. Look for projects that will have you feel fulfilled. Money can help buy happiness when used to meet basic needs. Having a higher income, for example, can give us access to home in a safer neighborhood, better healthcare and nutrition, fulfilling work, and more leisure time. The bottom line then is that money can perhaps buy you some happiness, but it all depends on how you spend it. However, if you stick to the belief that money directly determines happiness, you can get stuck in a cycle of constantly wanting to accumulate more money, more stuff, but never feeling like it's enough. This means that you can control a lot of your happiness, and only a very small percentage is actually tied to how much money you have. We move on to the questions 2. What problem do you think wasting food can cause? When we waste food, we also waste all the energy and water it takes to grow, harvest, transport, and package it. And if food goes to the landfill and rots, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas even more potent than carbon dioxide. Methane, of course, is a greenhouse gas, which many scientists believe adversely affects the Earth's climate and temperature. As the world's population continues to grow, our challenge should not be how to grow more food, but to feed more people while wasting less of what we already produce. Here are a few tips to help you avoid wasting food. The first, try to eat leftover. Think of meals you might eat out and avoid unnecessary purchase by planning your grocery list ahead of time. The second, use your freezer. While there are plenty of benefits to eating fresh food, frozen foods can be just as nutritious. They also stay edible for much longer. And the third, before you shop, use the food you already have. Plenty, bake, or boil. Fruits and vegetables that are beyond rib may not look pretty, but that doesn't mean they can still taste delicious in recipe. We move on to the question 3. What do you think might be some advantages and disadvantages of urban sprawl? The first is advantages. People who flee in sprawling, urban free areas tend to have more space, as houses are spaced out on larger tracts of land. Granted, it's not quite rural in nature, but it offers much more breathing room than a crowded city block full of apartments. Not only is there more space, but the cost of the land is much cheaper, meaning that residents save money. A comparable residence within the higher density city limits would roughly cost more. Commercial, residential, and industrial areas are all segregated, meaning that residents in their home are less exposed to potential public nuisances, such as noisy nightclubs or odorous paper mills. The second is disadvantage. The more sprawling a city becomes, the more cars become a necessity. Bus line, monorail, and other forms of mass transit are available in the city, but not so much in the suburbs. Even a quick trip to the grocery store or the hair salon requires the use of a car. More traffic means more emissions, which is bad for the environment. The more houses and strip malls that get built, the, the less natural habitat for the flora and fauna. Plus, there's also the issues of less farmland to be had. And the last is part two. Why the following statement might or might not be true. Small charity often give money to people they have done larger charity. Many small charities are born out of desire to have some element of control over situations with little help. For me, small charity can operate and access places that the larger ones can. They are often more effective. Small charities are found to fulfill a need in an individual, to improve a situation, or find a cure where none exists. Because there is no hierarchy to consider, they can act quickly. They can make a difference today, not next week or next year. Statement might or might not be true. Small charity often give money to the people they have than large charity. Many bigger charities are bogged down in their own organizations. They are often slow and bureaucratic and hold a belief that because they are big, they need to control the masses. Big charity often argue that it would be much better if a committed individual joins them rather than blocking their hour furrow. They say that they are the ones with the resources, federation, and the ear of politicians. A small charity will fragment the cause they want. If you haven't actually trained for the benefit theory, why would I want to join you? The only real measurement that charity have is whether or not we have improved life for our beneficiaries. If Lord Charity had not done this, then they must be bold and honest enough to hold up their hands and say they could or should have done. If Lord Charity have not done this, then they must be bold and honest enough to hold up their hands and say they could or should have done. My video ends here. Thank everyone for listening. I hope you will like my video.